Hey, coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip on the good old YouTube, presented by Just Play Sports Solutions and their wonderful Just Play app. Stay tuned, in a little bit we'll have more info on that. I've been getting some emails, been getting some messages, and that's about several things. There was some about Jet, and a guy sent me some video, and I looked at it, and the counter. And it's not just the counter, it's anything we're kicking out on. And I don't blame the kids when it's consistently happening. Because if the kid's consistently doing it, going against his coaching, then I don't know what to tell you. But we've got to do a better job of teaching them aiming points and where to put their hands, where to put their heads, their helmets, their bodies. I'm not talking about hitting with your helmet, but using your helmet as a landmark, so to speak, and putting it on the proper side. And I'm going to show you some video of that right on this video. So we're troubleshooting the kick out on the counter, but really and truly, y'all, it could be the J block, which we've got videos on that, and I'll link those below in the show notes and the description. There's all kind of things we can do. But before we do, let's pay the bills, as I like to say here on Football Talk with Coach Chip. As we said, Just Play Sports Solutions is the proud sponsor of both the podcast and the YouTube channel. All the play diagrams you've seen on Football Talk with Coach Chip since the spring of 2021 have been done with their Just Play app. Check them out at myjustplay.com and join the over 1,000 high schools, all three service academies, half the Ivy League schools, Penn State, Clemson, Iowa, UCLA, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, and they're looking for a coach out here. And now, recently, and this past summer, as I talked to you, it's late September, the Baltimore Ravens are now using Just Play Sports Solutions, Just Play app. All those players on their phones have this app. And so all of their game plans, everything is always with them, and it's always a touch away on their phone, on their device. So hang in there. I'm going to do a little commercial later on toward the middle of the video. But before I go to the next slide, contact Coach Brad Rumsey at brumsey@justplayss.com. You can see it at the bottom of the screen, or you can call him by phone, 517-937-5433. And tell him Coach Chip sent you. How about that? All right, the system is out there. It's still going strong. I can't believe I thought it would kind of slow, and it did slow down. It slowed down now that the season has started. But I'm still getting guys by. I just sold 3 this week. And one of them, to be fair, is overseas, and their season hasn't started yet. But the gunpowder spread system is only $100. And you'll see why it costs $100 when you dive into it. I'll send it to you. You check it out. If you don't like it, just say delete it, and I'll remove the share from it because it's on Google Slide. But folks, nobody's ever gotten it and said this isn't my thing, because they realize the value they're getting for just $100. It's a complete system, formations, installs, drills, how we did it. Parts of it read like a memoir. That's a pretty good word. That's that Troy State education coming through the Harvard of the Wiregrass. Because I tell you what we were thinking and how we came about it. So it's not just a collection of plays. And I think too often us as coaches, we have a collection of plays and we think we have an offense. No, you've got a collection of plays. You need to know the why and all that good stuff. So all of this is included. Also, the big book of bucks, the first book I ever put out, all about bucks, different ways to block it, different ways to run it, different ways to use buck blocking. Even in there, how you can marry buck and jet, believe it or not. And that's only $30. The jet manual, it's $50. Okay, the jet manual is $50 because there's a lot more to it. All things jet, different ways to block the jet. Jet passes, jet counters, jet powers, different people doing things. And also in there, it tells you how to block it like buck. Not all the time, but just a way to do it. And it explains why we did it that way sometimes. And so that's $50. And the OL manual, which you also get the paperback. I just had to order more paperbacks. I went in there to get one the other day to mail out, or to get 2. And I was fishing around in the last box, and they're almost all gone. And so I ordered some more, and they'll be in real soon, probably in a week. So hit me up. You order the OL manual for gap down backer blocking, you get the ebook. All of these are ebooks, but you also get the paperback to mark up. I'm currently working on making the jet manual a paperback too. And y'all, it's a lot harder than it sounds. But get this. So imagine you bought the gunpowder spread system, the manual, and the jet manual. That's $150. Heck, I'll just throw in the big book of bucks and the OL manual. It's like you're buying the two most expensive ones and getting the other two for free. It's a $60 discount. So you buy you buy the manual, and for an additional $50, you get these other three. You can't beat that with a stick, a cockeyed stick. And here you see the manual, the O-line manual I was just telling you about. I'm not going to go through all of this. You can pause it and read it for yourself at your own leisure. Be sure you subscribe to the channel. Go over to the podcast and follow it and leave a review. But subscribe to the channel. Guys, we're trying to get to 5,000 by the end of 2025. Right now, I can't believe we're at like 4,500. I haven't checked it in a week or two, but maybe, but we need like 500 more subscribers. So, well, Coach, I've already subscribed. You can still help me just by sharing it, putting on your social media. Say, hey, man, this guy's crazy as crap, but he's got some pretty good videos. Over 300 videos available. Over 60 free resources. If you subscribe, you go shopping for free. I talked about the ones you could buy. There's over 60 free ones. And just go to my Facebook page. It's called Football Talk with Coach Chip. It's a Facebook group. And join it while you're there. Got over 2,000 now. And there's a pinned post with a graphic with all of the free resources. Or if you're a Twitter X guy, go to Coach Chip at Chip Siegel, Seagle, S-Eagle. And there's a pinned post there on Twitter/X of the same graphic. And there's also one on Instagram. Go to Chip Siegel on Instagram. I don't think I changed it to Coach Chip. It may be. But there's something. I don't keep that up to date. But there is a pinned post there if you're an Insta kind of guy. See, I'm kind of hip. I said Insta. So please be sure to subscribe today because it comes with benefits. And these are the benefits. And really it's 64 now. I have to change that. And I haven't taken the time to change the graphic. But all of these, and I won't go through them. You can pause it and screenshot it and you'll have it. Mention the podcast. Find it on Spotify, Apple, and all the major podcatchers. I've had college coaches, high school coaches, middle school coaches, youth coaches, all talking ball with old crazy Coach Chip. You'll like it. It's good stuff. It's a great way to kill the better part of an hour when you're commuting, when you're running, walking, working in the yard. If you got those good headsets where you can do that kind of thing. And if you have an idea for a video here on the YouTube channel or a podcast guest or a podcast theme, had a guy the other day gave me a great idea. I got a whole podcast out of his idea. He hit me up with a DM. I think it was on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter X, where he hit me up. I said, that's a great idea, dude. And I built a podcast out of that. Got one that's coming out this weekend. As I said, this is the 25th, I think, of September. 26th, excuse me. Hey, I'm retired. What can I say? The 26th of September. And on the 28th, when you wake up Sunday morning, there's a great episode there. We're going to talk about marrying your passing concepts putting them into families. When you get married, you are a family. And teaching them that way, the same way we do the run game. Got a great guest on, Coach Green from Guilford High School, and he's going to talk about that. And he's going to be on next week's episode and tell us all about using analytics at the high school level. Because so many of the analytics you really can't, they don't translate from Saturday, Sunday ball to Friday night ball. But he tells you how he's done it and how they've been able to do it. All right, let's talk about the kick. All right, like this one here. Y'all, the guard is wrong. You never pull flat. If you pull flat, you can't do anything about a pincher or a squeezer, which are two different things, but the result's almost the same because they're going to get under you. And I'm going to show you some video, and I'm also going to take you over to the app, to the Just Play app, and show you 3 examples of what you can do before I show you some videos. So let's pause right now, go over to the app, and check out different things you can do for teaching your guys to kick out on the counter. So what you have here, and what goes on in the backfield, I don't care. I'm talking about the blocking. Ignore it's in pistol or whatever. It could be offset, could be same. I don't know. I don't care. Look at the front. All right, this guy's, he's just playing the outside of the B gap. He's not really squeezing, but he's kind of coming down. First off, you got to get your guy downhill. Now, a lot of guys don't like teaching the skip pull for kickouts. They like it on the wraps, but not on the kickouts. I like the skip pull, although I do let my better, more experienced linemen pick which one works best for them. And if it doesn't work, I make them change. But he gets downhill, that way he can counteract a squeezer. Because if he comes flat pull, there's nothing he can do about this. Okay, it's just, it ain't going to happen. So he's got to get downhill, because you can always adjust back if he runs up the field. So you got to get downhill. And the other thing too, head in front. Now here's what I say to that. This is the best way to teach it. I've talked about put your head in front, and nowadays you got to be careful when you talk about the head. People say like, he's telling them to use their head, because they'll hear it out of context. Pull left, hit left. So when he's coming, doing on counter left, he wants to hit with the left shoulder pad and the left side of his body, and then his head will be in front, which is the safest place for it to be. And also it keeps this guy from falling in. So because if he hits him too high, when I say on the high side, right here, he can fall back in and make the play. Okay, you see that? So you want to pull left, hit left, pull right, hit right. Okay, let's go look at another one. Now on this one, he's running up the field. And you see this a lot, especially sub-varsity ball, your smaller schools. And we've talked about it before. It's not a knock against D-line coaches at the lower levels of football. When I say lower levels, I don't mean inferior. I mean lower like in numbers and lower like in age. And I believe the reason why is because so many kids go both ways. Coaches go both ways. They don't have the time to teach, to really stress the squeezing and all that kind of stuff. And so many odd front teams don't squeeze anyway. They're responsible for a gap, and they're going to plug that gap, which there's nothing wrong with that. We did that for years. Won a ton of football games running 3-3 stack. We didn't read jack crap on the line. We jacked them up, or we slanted. I don't mean slanted, just took off running. We slanted and tried and secured our gap and let those linebackers run and make plays. So, but you'll see this a lot where the kid, and I got a video of a kid coming up field in a game that I coached in, and you can see how we blocked it. And it's going to look like it wasn't much of a block, and I'll show you why it was. He runs up the field, and look, he adjusts. He got his depth. He saw the kid running up the field, and he adjusted right there and kicked. And look, got his head on the upfield side because he's pull left, hit left. If we flipped it, it'd be pull right, hit right. I'm just showing off the app. That's it. That's the My Just Play app. So pull right, hit right. It's going to hit with the right shoulder. That means his head's on the left, and the guy can't fall back in. All right, let's look at another one. Now, this isn't a pinch. This ain't running upfield. This is a honest-to-goodness squeeze. When the guard, the kicker, on the counter, sees that guy, he totally changes his position on the field. He goes from being a 5-tech and squeezes down to literally being a 3-tech. And we're not going to swap guys. That's when you log him. And I'll try to find that log video and link it too, because there's a video on log blocking. But you guys got to see this. You got to teach this. If you're in a league where the kids do this, this is sure enough squeezing it, probably going to wrong shoulder and try to blow him up. If you're pull right, pull left, hit left, you're in position to do this because your head's still going to be on the correct side, and you'll be able to pivot your hips to better block the guy and pin him inside. So when you pull right, hit right, in this case, pull left, hit left, if you're coming with and you're trying to hit him on his left side, when he squeezes, you're in position to make that lock. That makes sense? All right, let's go and watch a few videos. I got 4 video clips I want to show you and try to get this thing under 20 minutes, which, hey, it's 15 right now, so there ain't no way that's happening. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. This is like the first picture I showed you about wrong. This clip is wrong, and this was a clip that I got from a coach. So watch this. Oh, this league they're in, the numbers rules, jersey number rules don't apply. And you'll see linemen wearing 12, wearing 1, wearing 90. And because what it is, there's so many, I believe the reason they have that rule is there's so many small schools in this league that to keep them from having to change out jersey numbers and all that, because, you know, your backup tailback, maybe your starting guard, or your starting H may be in the rotation at line at some point, depending on what happens in the course of the game. So that's why I think this league does that. But you get used to it, and the referees know it. That's part of it. Now, what's tough is when they play outside league games, but that's another story. So you're going to see number 12 playing guard, kicking on the counter. You see it? It's fixing to go again and go in slow-mo. Now, I want you to see something. You say, well, that wasn't much of a block. But I want you to see if he does everything the same, except this time he pulls right, hits right. If he does everything the same, but gets on the upfield side and hits with his right shoulder, it was good enough. Watch what I'm going to show you. This kid falls in and makes the tackle, helps make the play. And there was other things that happened on this play, but this is a great example of it. Look, he's getting too deep. He's getting deep as he goes. He's pulling right, and he's going to strike with his left shoulder, and this kid's going to fall in and get in on the play. That's why you got to go the other route. He needs to go downhill. First off, he needs to be trying to cross the line, but that's difficult because the center's getting knocked back. But hit with his right shoulder right here. If that kid falls off, he falls off in the backfield, and the ball is gone through the hole. You'll see that when I'm talking about right here. See? Now, invert that block, and you got to play. As a matter of fact, I think they may have had a pretty good play. Look at it again. Invert that block. Come right here, and you've got a football play. He said, well, he didn't want much of a block. Dude, I've told y'all before, a block is anything you do to keep that dude from making the play. Okay, anything you do to keep that dude from making the play. And this wasn't a case of a guy just being better. This was bad technique. You got to pull right, hit right. All right, let's look at another one. Because that was a horrible block. No, it wasn't. That guy ran his happy butt up the field. Watch right here. Watch the DN. He's going to run up the field. The guard is coming right here, and he's pulling right. He's going to hit right. And the dude ran around the block and didn't make the play. Now, if you're playing 7-on-7 touch, I think he may have touched him. If he was worried about just blowing him up, maybe it'd been a bad block. See right there? He sees him. Pull right, hit right. And you say, Coach, that's not a good block. I submit it is. I submit to you it is. Because if the kid had squeezed, he was there for him. If the kid had squatted, right here, need to hit him with that right shoulder right here. And boom. You got a football play still. But the dude ran on up the field. So I'm telling you, this was good technique on this guard's part. Sprung him. Okay. I like it. I mean, sure would. I'd rather have him just fit up perfect. I can't control the defensive end. He ran his butt up the field. Hey, coaches, let me tell you about our partners over at Just Play Sports Solutions. All the play diagrams on Football Talk with Coach Chip since the spring of 2021 have been done by the My Just Play app Just Play Sports Solutions created. You can find it at myjustplay.com. Team packages, individual packages, which is what I got. With the team package, you create your playbooks, you make scout cards, you can add video to the play so the diagram literally comes to life. The players get an app, they put it on their phone, so you don't have to print any more playbooks, any more game plans, any more scouting reports. And since players never go anywhere without their phones, their playbook is always with them. Contact my buddy Brad Rumsey at brumsey@justplayss.com, brumsey@justplayss.com, or call him by phone at 517-937-5433. Tell him Coach Chip sent you. All right, this is college clips. This is from the all 22 end zone shot. I've got a collection of these on my quick cuts. See what there? That is, and look, it's not a long sustained block. He's not driving them out. I mean, this is good on good, big on big. Look where he hits him. Pull right, hit right. He loses the guy. Guy bounces off. Look where he bounces off. In the backfield, ball's gone. Pull right, hit right. Y'all have got to correct this on all your plays where you've got kickouts. If you're teaching trap, I don't care if it's fullback quick trap, pull right, hit right. If you're doing down, like or the G lead, pull right, hit right. Anything you're kicking out on, pull right, hit right, pull left, hit left. Anything. And I promise you, whatever how you teach log will be an easy teach. Once you get your kids going downhill, crossing the line, like we talked about in our trap video a while back, you got to cross the line. Because at its essence, the counter is a trap. You're trapping with the backside guard, you're wrapping with the backside tackle, the H, the F, the Y, ever how you do it. This is one that I've used for years. I love a drone shot. Well, here's your puller. And he's going to fit up pretty as a picture. And he's pulling left. He's going to hit left. And that wrapper's nasty too. He's going to wrap and fit up on the inside number just like he's supposed to. Watch this. Look right there. Look where his helmet is. It's on the inside. It's on the defensive side, but the best way to communicate that to me, I've found over the years, pull left. Some people say same foot, stuff like that. Pull left, pull right, hit right. The kids got it. I've never had an issue with that. Once I started doing it that way 100 years ago or so, it wasn't that long ago. It was right after we got out of leather helmets. Look at that. Thing springs, and that's the Washington XFL UFL team. And I don't know the new coach. They got a new coach up there now that in the leagues how they consolidated, but he was big gap scheme guy. Their OC up there was big gap scheme guy. All right, coaches, that's it for this episode of Football Talk with Coach Chip on YouTube. Don't forget our sponsor, Just Play Sports Solutions. Hit them up, Brad Rumsey. You see his info there at the bottom of the screen. And let him give you a free trial. I mean, whatever you call that, a demonstration. Yeah, I knew it'd come to me. A demonstration on how it works. Y'all, that's the best thing going. When he did it for me and showed me everything it could do besides just the play drawing tools. And if your program doesn't want to spend the money to get the team package, I highly recommend you talk to them about an individual package like Coach Chip has. Because I'm telling you, I've saved everything. And since I started using it, I've been at 3 different schools, retired. Now I'm back volunteering with a school. So 4 different stops technically. And everything I did came with me. And he can show you how to put the video and stuff on there. And I've done that with a few of them just playing around. I did it for some presentations. And it just, y'all, it's the best thing going. Please check that out, if you will, please. Opportunity to support Football Talk with Coach Chip. buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip. I don't drink coffee, but you can buy me something to drink. Okay? So go to buymeacoffee.com/Coach Chip, and you can do it because I did it. I set it up so I know you can do it. And then also go to Football Talk with Coach Chip page group on Facebook, and you can find me on Twitter/X, Coach Chip @ChipSiegel. Coach Chip @ChipSiegel. It's buymeacoffee.com, Football Talk with Coach Chip on Facebook, Coach Chip at Chip Siegel on Twitter/X. Don't forget, I'm here for you. It's good to learn from your mistakes because, we're not very smart if we don't. But why just learn from yours when you can learn from somebody else's, primarily me, over 40 years of coaching football at the secondary level and over 40 years of mistakes, and I'm just an email away. So hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com for more info. I'll do a Google Meet with you. We can consult. We can do an install. You don't want to do an install right now probably, but hey, people watch these videos. They're supposed to be evergreen, so whatever. All right, that's it. I kept you 25 minutes. Troubleshooting the kick out on the counter right here on Football Talk with Coach Chip. Be sure to subscribe and share the video and like it, please. I need y'all. Until next time, y'all, be elite.